Hopefully you guys are ready to go today. We're going to move on to the next section. We're going to be working on section 7.2 today, where we're going over properties where we're multiplying powers with the same base. So we'll talk about that a little bit, obviously, today. That's some of that vocabulary. First of all, in the review portion, we are simplifying these expressions, and they are written in scientific notation, and we kind of hinted or looked at that right before break. So remember, when your problem is in scientific notation, the exponent tells you how many places to move your decimal point. So here it's telling me to move it over 4 places. So I'm gonna think about if my decimal point was here, I would move it 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here. So I would be left with 60,000. Here, since it's a -2, that means it's a small number, less than 1. So instead of moving the decimal point to the right, we move the decimal point to the left. So from 7, I would move it 2 places. So I'm actually only going to add a 0 because I would go 1, 2 places to the left. So my answer would be 0.07. And I know we, right before break, briefly kind of reviewed some ideas with scientific notation, but we were kind of rushed a little bit. So we will see more of that as we get going and get a chance to practice with that a little bit more as well. All right, so starting with our topic today, we are going to be multiplying powers when they have the same base. And the rule is that you add the exponents. So I'm just going to kind of circle that there. We have to add the exponents. This is true for numerical and algebraic expressions. So there is a main rule for today. So let's look and see how that rule is applied. So the base refers to the number that is with the exponent. So in this first example here, 3 would be considered our base. They all have the same base of 3, so that means we can simply just add our exponents together. So that's what we do right here. In this step, we combine the 3 because they all have the same base, and we add those exponents, so we end up with 3 to the 9th power. Remember that if your exponent is 5 or greater, you need to just leave that as it is. So we don't need to go ahead and punch that in our calculator. Just leave it as 3/9. Now, even when an expression contains a negative or rational exponent, a rational exponent would mean it's a fraction. The exponents can be added when their bases are the same in the product. So here's some more examples here. On B, we can see they all have a base of 11. So we keep that 11 and then we add our exponents together. So we would end up with 11 to the -4th power. Now, I'm not sure why the book doesn't simplify it all the way. It should. Can't leave a negative exponent when you're simplifying. So let's go ahead and fix that there and flip it, take the reciprocal like we talked about yesterday. So our answer would be 1/11 to the 4th power. And then of course, since 4 is less than 5, remember you can use your calculator. We talked about that little V or caret button. So I would just do 11 to the 4th power. And that would leave me, I'm running out of room here, I'll write it over here to the side. 1 out of 14,641. So technically, that is what we should do when we're simplifying our answer all the way. That's what I would like to see, that your answers are all written with positive exponents, okay? We can do the same thing if the exponent is a fraction. So I can see the fractions also have the same denominator. So we would simply need to add those exponents together and bring down the base that they have in common. So we'd end up with 2 to the 4/5 power. And in a little bit, I'll kind of explain what that means to have a rational exponent. But for now, just know that if they have that same denominator, we know we can add them together, okay? So here is a summary of that information. So to multiply powers with the same base, we simply add the exponents together and we keep the base. So here, if we look at 11, 12, 13, and 14, we want to compare. So we would need to figure out, okay, this one has 6 minus 4 here. So that would give us 6 squared. Obviously, 6 to the 5th is greater than 6 squared. So we're just kind of comparing those. And you can kind of see the idea. This would give us 11 here. This would give us 11 here. They're equal to each other, so on and so on. So just kind of showing you or getting a little practice with comparing. We're going to kind of move on here from that. When we go to the next part, we're going to look at just some examples where you get a chance to practice. So right now, I would like you to pause and go ahead and try these 3 problems here, and then unpause, and you can check to see if you got them correct. So right now, pause. Okay, so we know they have the same base, so we know that we can add the exponents together. So we would end up here with 8 to the 9th power, and we would just leave our answer. We have positive exponents, and we have an exponent that's bigger than 5, so we're good there. Here, again, we would add the exponents, so we would end up with 0.5 is to the negative 11th power, and obviously we want to get rid of that negative, so we're going to flip it. So we would end up with 0.5 to the 11th power. And I would just leave it like that because 11 is bigger than 5. Then here, again, we would add the exponents together. So you should end up with 9 to the 5th power. And we just leave it like that. The second problem, same idea. We're simplifying. We're only going to be adding the bases that are in common. But notice there's a 5 and a 3 also. And those numbers will have to be multiplied together like we normally would do. So I would do 5 times 3 first. And then I have x as my like base. And I have x to the 4th. Plus I want to add the 9th. Don't forget this x here by itself. There's a 1 there. So don't forget that's really x to the 1st power. So you need to make sure you add the 1 to the problem. So when we simplify that, we would end up with 15x to the 14th power. Okay. And that's all we would do for that one. We simplified it. We only have positive exponents. We're good to go there. Now, like I said, we'll see scientific notation pop up occasionally, especially because they have the same base. So we're going to kind of use the commutative property here. Remember, the commutative means you can switch the order. We can also regroup using the associative property, we can regroup and combine to get the answer here. So I'm going to take the mass of 1 cubic meter of water, so the 9.98, and I'm going to multiply it with the beginning of the 3.34 molecules of water. And then I have 200 meters cubed of water, so I'm going to go ahead and change that to scientific notation as well, so they're all in the same form. So I'm going to move my decimal point over 2 places, so that means I've got to have 2 for my exponent. So then I'm going to take this 2 and move it down here and multiply it. Now I'm going to then combine all the like bases, the tens. So I have a 10 to the 5th power, plus I have a 10 to the 22nd power, plus I have a 10 to the 2nd power. So I can add all of those because they have a like base. I will multiply these values together. You get a decimal, 6.66, I think 0.66, so on and so on. It doesn't repeat. I think it ends in like a 4, but for our purposes, the 100th place value is fine here. And that's going to be times 10 to the, I add those together, 7 to 8, 29. But that technically is not in scientific notation because 66 here is not a number between 1 and 10. In scientific notation, we talked about how that first value always has to be between 1 and 10. So that means I've got to move this decimal point over 1 place, which means I would have to change my 29 to a 30. So it's really let's round it up and say 6.7 approximately times 10 to the 30th power of molecules of water. If you have 200 cubic meters of water. So just kind of that, not only is it scientific notation, but it's our science connection. So a lot there, but we're using that same property where we're combining with the same base. Okay, before I get into example 4, which kind of switches gears a little bit to talk about rational exponents, I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and then I'll start up my new video, part 2, and we can talk about what to do or what does it mean when you have a rational exponent. Okay, so we'll stop here and get back to part 2, okay?